command that you may want to take advantage of as well too. So I'm going to flip this around. So I'm going to be showing my screen most of the time today. All right. But this is the scottleroymarketing.com website. All right. And the main place that you'll really want to focus on here is primarily under this agent resources section that you're seeing right here. Now, once you go to scottleroymarketing.com, this dropdown won't pop up quite yet until you put inside your market center number. All right, and your market center number is just going to be 558. All right, so 558 will be what you can put inside in order to view everything possible from this drop-down section. All right, so I'm going to go in order on here and kind of highlight some of the main items that'll really make your life a lot easier. So the first thing we're seeing on here is our questionnaire section. Now, you may recall this from when you were first getting, onboarded, first getting set up with everything. This is really meant to kind of dive deep into, now that I'm a Keller Williams agent, what all do I have access to? But the biggest thing is whenever you're joining Keller Williams, there's certain things that you're going to onboard with that are static, that you're going to do one time and we'll never have to worry about again. And there are certain things that are dynamic, that are consistently evolving and changing. And that's where this questionnaire comes into play. So we have all these different variations of the questionnaire, but really the only one that you'd want to focus on is this existing agent questionnaire on here. Right, so once you click on existing on here, or go to scottleroymarketing.com/existing, this is going to give you a quick form to fill out that'll allow us to basically go through and say, if you were starting again today on May 15th, what would that look like? How can we help out with that even more on it? And the best part is this is just going to ask some very simplistic questions on here. So just some quick items of, what's your first and last name? What's your personal email for us to send back over a set of complete email? What's your login and password? And then what's your cell phone number? Just so we have that. And then, of course, if you're looking for something new, like a new headshot to be updated, you can add that in as well, too. Now, I do want to highlight that when you fill out this particular form, we're not going to change anything that you currently have set up. That's one of the biggest things I definitely want to specify. We're not going to go back in, and if you have a bio set up, if you have, an email set up or anything of that sort, we're not going to adjust it. We're just going to look for all the holes and all the gaps to go through and fill everything even further for you. All right. And once that comes over to us, you're then going to receive a setup complete email from us that'll look a little bit like this. All right. So if you haven't received one of these versions before, that might be another reason to do this as well, because we just started giving out these options about a year ago, and hopefully the GIF will pop up in a second. All right, there we go. All right, so it'll say something like, welcome to Keller Williams, where entrepreneurs thrive. And then on here where you can click on this link to have access to all of your information. And then we'll even give you some additional info. So like if you want to utilize QR code for your app, QR code for your website, an email signature we'll create for you. Even if you want to relaunch, as a Keller Williams agent, we'll make a quick little just join forces with KW piece that you can send out over on your social media platforms. But the biggest thing on here is this is now going to be one location where you'll have access to all of your info that we've set up for you. So once again, even if you're going through and saying like, hey, I think I'm 99% there, but I just want to double check, this is a great way to get some updated information as well too. All right, and you'll have your own specific URL that you can use on here to access everything. All right, and then once you put inside your market center number of 558, so this one is an example one of 123, but then we'll put inside all your info so you can have it in one location. So it's always nice just to kind of go through and do this yearly to see, all right, what new items are we launching for agents? What else could be set up? And once again, the information on this page might not change. It might be the exact same, but the items that we're doing through your command account or through your backend will adjust a little bit as well. All right, so just a nice place to have all of your info in one location, your command website, your agent profile, and a few big things. I'm going to talk about this in our support section, but a few big things that we'll also do as well is we'll add inside a plethora of extra pages for you just to make everything stand out on your behalf. even give you your new agent profile link, all the items that you might want to utilize to take advantage of being a KW agent. And more importantly, we're going to do our own little dive through your command account and make sure that you have everything set up possible on. All right, so are we utilizing the contact section? Are we using the smart plans? Do we have the new website set up with all the new pages? Are we taking advantage of everything inside our marketing profile? So we're going to work on this immediately. So I love to highlight the existing agent questionnaire because it's a great yearly check-in with the doctor to really just go over and say, all right, if I was starting again brand new today, what could I take advantage of? All right, but beyond that, we also happen to have all of our training opportunities for y'all as well too. So every Monday through Friday, right at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we'll actually have live training classes that will go over all of the different tools that are accessible for you to utilize. All right, so we have a section on our site just around the new KW Agent websites. We have a link on here where you can access that live training class as well too, just to learn a little bit more each day on how you can use all these items even further. But then we also have our own little training calendar, our challenges, and our cheat sheets on here as well too. So I'd highly suggest taking advantage of this training calendar on here, because this is going to show you what class is happening today, what class is happening this week, what class is happening this month, that you can take advantage of. We also have our challenges on here, which is something we'll set up on your command account as a smart plan if you'd like us to, in order just to see, how can I take advantage of all the KW technology right away over the next 30 days. And then even our cheat sheets on here. So in this case, if you want to see something written out where you can go line by line and see how to complete something, this will help out tremendously. All right, now when looking at the training calendar section on here, all right, this is where you can actually view all the different items that are available for you for the upcoming month, day, week, whatever it may be. All right, so on here, you can access the live webinar at slmwebinar.com. You can access our training classes that are recorded on slmtraining.com. All right, you can even vote for upcoming classes. So every other Friday, we actually allow agents to vote on what they want us to teach. So that way we can actually go over that immediately. All right, we even have our entire schedule for the full month. So if you want to actually add this Google Calendar over to your Google Calendar, you're definitely more than welcome to, so you can see those courses that are coming up. So today, for instance, we had one purely on smart plans. Tomorrow, we're about to have one on nurturing your database through the print marketing side. And then on Friday, we're purely talking about DocuSign, how to take advantage of it, the best ways to use it. All right, so that's all accessible on here. All right, but I always love to highlight our little May calendars that you can download. So they're all segmented by the actual time zone on here. So you just want to focus on this PST option to download that Pacific time one right away. All right, so once we click on PST, this is a nice little printable flyer that you can download just to see what classes are coming up for the month on here. All right, so that way if you want to see, hey, what classes are happening on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then what day are those classes happening on, this will help out tremendously. Now, a few things I do want to highlight for y'all. First and foremost, this Monday class is always meant to be one of the first ones that you may take. All right, so whether it's this Monday class going over how to utilize command, whether it's going over everything we can provide for y'all, all right, this is a nice little high level of what exactly do I have access to? How do I utilize this even further? All right, whereas our Tuesday through Friday class is more of a deep dive into everything possible. All right, so then if you go through and say, for instance, you took this command class this last Monday, or if you go to slmtraining.com, you can re-access that right away. All right, but then if you see that class, you're like, hey, now I really want to learn more about the websites, or I want to learn more about paid ads, or I want to learn more about direct mailers or DocuSign. This is where we're going to have a 1 hour in-depth class that'll help you out even further on this. All right, so I always love to highlight that just so you can see all the extra items that are accessible on this. So if you do want to download this, obviously you can go through and print it off if you'd like, or you can click these three dots at the top right and download this PDF immediately. And this will help to see what classes are coming up very soon. All right, but then we also happen to have on here our 30-day challenge. All right, so this 30-day challenge on here is exactly what it sounds like. It's 30 items you can do in the next 30 days to really learn about all the different KDB technology. All right, so we have one purely about us and how to utilize all of our services. The biggest one is about command on here. And once you click on this, it'll then give you a printable version that you can use. Now, if you do want to have this as a digital version that's going to be online, if you notice on here, we also happen to have this as a smart plan. So not only can I click on this, but I can also go inside command, and under the smart plan section, I can click on smart plans. Right, and then from here, I can actually go through the library. And through the library, if you search by the name, so the author name, Scott Leroy on here. All right, there is going to be a space between the E and the R on there. So Scott Leroy. Then you can see those different plans that we have, right, including this particular one on here, this 30-day new KW Agent Challenge. All right, this will help to go through and add this plan so you can access that right away on here. All right, so that's all accessible for you to utilize. All right, now this will then give you those items that are in our 30-day challenge. So I'm going to click on this to view this real quick. It's going to give you these items as one task per day that'll come out through command. Right, and then it'll also have a helpful link or a helpful video on how you can complete that immediately. Right, but if you're like me and you'd love to have something that you can just mark off as well too, then this is a great physical version that'll help out with that. All right, so simple items on here just start to utilize everything even more, whether it's how to download your command mobile app and sign in, how to create a consumer account app, how to create an account on your consumer app, how to come over here and see the latest command overview course. So all these items will help out tremendously. All right, now beyond that, so beyond our 30-day challenge on there and the smart plan version, all right, we also happen to have all of our cheat sheets. Now, this is really meant in case you want to go through and have a physical document where it'll just walk you through step by step how to utilize this. So this is going to then talk about, hey, if I'm going through the design section, what is designs? All right, when I'm under designs, what are the options that I'm viewing on here? So what's the email template? What's the social template, print template? And then more importantly on here, when I'm going through that, how do I actually utilize any of these designs? So how do I use the print social design? And can I walk through step by step to make a print piece? Can I walk through step by step to make a social piece on? So this will help out tremendously just to give you step-by-step directions. So if you want to see everything written out, this is an ideal way to use this. All right. So that's just around the training sections and what you can do. Now, if you can't make it to the live training classes, that's no problem at all. All right. All of these classes are available 24/7 on here, and they are accessible under our recorded training classes section. All right. So these are all alphabetically organized, but chronologically organized, so you can access the most recent class right away on here. All right, this is a great way to go through and basically just say, hey, I want to see that class that we had today. So maybe we had a campaigns class today, for instance. I wasn't able to stay the entire time, but I want to come back and rewatch that. So once that class is re-uploaded, then you'll be able to see that campaign class immediately. All right, so in this case, once that class is completed today and uploaded, the first video that would pop up on here would say something like Campaigns 101-5/15s. And we'll always put the date in the title, so that way you'll know, hey, this is the class from May 15th that I can rewatch immediately. Now, if you don't want to access a 1-hour-long training class, which is completely understandable, maybe you just want to learn how to do, an email campaign or a Facebook ad, whatever it might be, then we also happen to have our little tech tips on here. So this is anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes on average that'll typically highlight all the different tools that are available for you in quick little snippets or nuggets of information. So in this case, if you're going through and you're saying like, hey, I just want to learn how to do a smart plan, or I want to learn how to send off a one-off email, this will help out tremendously. So I love highlighting this because once again, they're very quick ones on here. So as you can see, there are a couple that go over the 10-minute mark, but there's primarily about 3 minutes on here. So, all right, and then that way you'll be able to see all these, 3, 4, 5 minutes. It'll just kind of help you out in small little nuggets on here. All right, now the biggest thing that we do provide though, outside of getting you up and running, making sure everything's, correctly set up, outside of going through and geez, training you on everything possible, we also happen to have on here all of our support for you as well too. All right, so if you want to learn a little bit more about everything that we have accessible for you, scottleroymarketing.com/support is a great place to access this immediately. So at the bottom of every page is going to be our contact info. All right, so if you ever have any issues, questions, or concerns on here, all right, please feel free to reach out to us to let us know if you need anything at all. All right, our goal is to definitely help you out with all the different K technology to make your life that much simpler. So anything that might pop up on here, please let us know. It's whether it's I'm having an issue with my website, this isn't working directly on my DocuSign account, I'm having an issue over on my database, whatever it might be, we can hop on here and get that going right away. All right, now beyond that, we also happen to have all of our additional services that are available for you. So we do have them segmented by top rated on here. So if you need help importing contacts, maybe you're using a different CRM right now and you want to start to utilize Command, or maybe you have, other contacts that you just received from another landing page that you might have external to the Kidby platform and you need those added in. All right, please feel free to reach out to us. We can help to do a mass import for you. All right, if you need help creating a new bio, we can actually make that for you. All right, if you want us to send out a smart plan to your database to basically say we want to get the updated contact information, we can do that immediately. All right, so that way we can get your updated contact info and just have a nice little warm reach out over to your contacts right away. All right, now beyond that, we also happen to have all of our command services. So maybe you've purchased API Nation, you want to have that linked up correctly, we can do that. All right, if you need to get, once again, that database imported, if you want to start any other smart plans, we can start those right away on it. All right, so that's all accessible for us to do for you on your behalf. All right, we even have Killer Cloud services on here. So if you need help going through it, maybe you're saying like, geez, I'm leaving a team and I'm branching out on my own, we can help to unbrand everything. If you're going through and maybe, you need a QR code created, right? You need to update your bio and you have a new bio or you have a new email, headshot, phone number, social media info. We can update all this at any time for you. All right, so that's all accessible for you to utilize. All right, and then of course, beyond that, we even happen to have all of our different K2B email services on here, whether it's setting that up to forward or obviously utilizing it through another Gmail account, and then even website services. So if you've upgraded the new website, we can go through and we can add in your testimonials. So if those are over, even on Zillow, on Facebook, on Google, whatever it might be, we can have or help to move those over to your command account. If you have a custom domain, we can forward this. We can add a download app page, adding Google Analytics. All right, we can set up sections on here for Keller Mortgage or technically Keller Home Loans on here for a mortgage calculator. We can add in preferred vendors to your about page. So all these items are completely available for you to use right away. All right, and then we even have third-party support requests on here. So if you want us to make a Canva account for you, which I'll talk about in a second as to why that would be set up, all right, we can make a Canva account on here. We can even create a digital business card. So if you want to utilize Blink for a digital business card, we can make one for you right away. All right, or we can go through and even create a Zoom account if you want to have a business Zoom on here, or a Calendly account. So that way you can have a nice little Calendly link for people to schedule time with you, whether it's for a buyer consultation, listing consultation, another agent, a vendor, whatever it might be. And then being in California, if you want to make sure that everywhere possible on your KDB technology has your DRE displaying correctly, we can double check on that and to make sure that everything is compliant on there. All right. Now, my favorite thing to highlight about all these items is that these red rectangles are actually just clickable buttons. So once you select any of them, it'll take you to a quick short form that you can fill out. And this will allow us just to basically go through and know exactly what you're looking for to get everything up and running immediately. Now, once again, you're not obligated to use this form on here by any means. This just helps us to kind of expedite everything for you. You can always just reach out to us directly. At the bottom of every page will be our contact info. So feel free to reach out on here and we can help out with that immediately. Right, but it's just a great way for our team to know exactly what you might be looking for so we can help with that right away. All right, so I love highlighting this on. All right, so a bunch of great items that are accessible for you to use. And the best part is, once again, these are all free. All right, so I love highlighting that. This is all free stuff for y'all to use that we can help out with. So please feel free to take advantage of this at any time. Now, the final big item on our site that I'm going to talk about today, right, is all under that agent resources section. And the final thing is under that template option. So this is where all of our free templates are located. So in this case, if you want to use any of our templates that are all through Canva, you're definitely more than welcome to. So the reason I was highlighting Canva earlier is because all of our templates are through that, so that way you can access this immediately. All right, so once you pull up our free templates on here, all right, this is where you can actually see all the different items that we'll have available. And we'll have some for leadership on the left-hand side, but if you want to use any of these, maybe if you're on a team and you want to highlight stuff for birthdays, anniversaries, closings, whatever it might be for your team members, feel free. You know, the best part is all these are customizable. So even though it says happy birthday, you can adjust that on there. All right, but on the right-hand side, we obviously have a few more templates that are more agent focused on here. And once you click on any of these, it's going to give you a plethora of template options that you can utilize. Right, and we're coming out with new templates as well on here. So I just want to give you a heads up. These are just a few of the templates that are available right now. And if you have a pro account, right, so if you have a Canva Pro account, we're about to launch some additional templates on here that'll be even more robust for you to utilize. Sorry about that. All right. But if you see any of these items on here, once you click on it, it's now going to take you inside Canva. So once you sign in with your account, you can then click on Use Template for New Design, and this is going to show you all the different template options that we'll have created for you. All right, and once again, the best part is, even though it says coming soon, you can go through and you can adjust this. I can make this say open house instead. All right, so all of it is completely customizable on here, so nothing is set in stone by any means. All right, but this will just give you some additional items that you can use outside of the designs platform, right? So in addition to design, so maybe if you're like, I've sent off the same piece over and over again, I want to try something different. Here's some other opportunities that are available for you to use right away as well too. All right, so I love highlighting this just because it's some extra free stuff that's available for you all to use. So going back over and doing another quick walkthrough on here, everything that's available for you all. So once again, this is all under the scottleroymarketing.com site and primarily under this agent resources link on it. All right. So the first thing that we had was our questionnaire section. So once again, this is really meant for us to go through and obviously in the very beginning to get you up and running, but also to come back and say, hey, if I'm starting again today on May 15th, what does this look like? How do I utilize everything? And that's where we can double check your entire command account to go through and audit everything possible. All right, so this is a great way to go through and say, all right, I was starting again now. What is different? How can I utilize this? And what am I missing out on that I may not even know about? All right, so that's all available on here. Then, of course, we have all of our training options. So every Monday through Friday, right at 10 a.m. Pacific time, we have free training classes that'll go over all the different KDB technology that y'all can use. All right, so you can access those live classes through our live webinar section. All right, or you can view those training classes under our training calendar. You can see our challenges that we have on here, and then even our cheat sheets also. Now, beyond that, we have all of our recorded courses. So if you want to come through here and say, hey, I can't make it to the live training class or I have to leave early, you can always come back and re-access this 24/7. They're all alphabetically organized, but chronologically organized. So even though it's showing them in alphabetical order, it's going to show the most recent class right away. All right, and just remember, if you're looking for a quicker option, we always have our tech tips available on here as well too. So that way you can access that right away on here. And so I just want to give you a heads up, that's all available for you to use. And then of course, beyond that, we have our support section. This is my favorite thing to highlight. So remember, everything on this page is all free for you all to use, all accessible just from the graciousness of the office. So feel free to take advantage of any of these items that are available on here. Right, these are all accessible for you to utilize at the end of the day. And also just make your life a little bit simpler for us to help out with everything possible. All right. And once again, I know I've highlighted this a bunch so far on here, but once again, you don't have to fill these out. You can always just come to the bottom of every page and reach out to us through our contact info and let us know what you might be looking for so we can help out with this immediately on here too. All right, so that's all accessible to help out on there. And then of course, that final big item is our template section. So we have some templates available for you all right now. We're about to launch some more templates. And these are all in addition to what's accessible through the KW platform on command. All right, so this is all available for us to do for you. All right, so you can use all these items, you can take advantage of them. And then once again, this agent resources section is all completely free. All right, so I want to take some time to kind of highlight everything that we provide on here, a little bit beyond what I would typically do in a team meeting, just to give you all a little bit better understanding of how we can help you out, how we can help to make your command account run a little bit better, and all the fun stuff that is accessible for you to use. So the good part is, by going through here, even by doing the existing agent questionnaire, we'll be able to actually go through and double check your entire command account and say, all right, what are the newer items that are missing that maybe you haven't taken advantage of quite yet that we can help out with right away? So some of the biggest items, and I said I was going to highlight a few of these, we're going to go through and we're going to double check that all the newest smart plans are set up on here. Some of the different ones that agents have recently launched that a lot of agents are utilizing. We're going to double check and see, hey, do you have your new website up and running? And if you do have the new website up and running, do you have all the additional pages in the back end? And we're going to go through there and create all those extra pages for you that we would typically do, just for any agent that's reaching out to us directly. All right, so we want to make sure that's taking advantage of right away. All right, so we'll make a plethora of pages. So what you're seeing on my screen, please take with a grain of salt on here. We're not going to make all of these extra ones. There's a lot of duplicates. All right, but we will make sure that these stand out immediately on here. All right. And then, of course, even beyond that, we're going to go through and we're going to take a look at all the extra items that are available. Like, are you utilizing your campaign section and taking advantage of either the social post option, the emails, or that new paid ads section that you can utilize? And then, of course, do you have your command app downloaded? Do you have your your Keller Williams consumer app? I was going to say KW consumer app, but your Keller Williams consumer app downloaded. And are you advertising these to help out? All right, so we're going to go through there and take a look at all those items to make your life a little bit simpler. So please take advantage of anything under the agent resources section on here. Really think of us as an extra staff member at the end of the day to make your life that much simpler, and let us know how we can help out. So I really wanted to dive really deep into everything possible on here just to make your life a little bit easier, and more importantly, to highlight all the items that are free for you to use. That's the biggest thing on there. So hopefully in this class, you'll get to learn a little bit more of the items that maybe you didn't know about quite yet. And then more importantly, some of the extra items that we can do for you. So please feel free to take advantage of anything and feel free to reach out to us at any time. That's what we're here to do, is to make your life a little bit easier on there. Perfect. Yes, I didn't know if y'all had any questions or anything.